All right, over here at the bottom right, not at the top, a Terran player who held off Choya's all-in very nicely last game. He is... little trivia for you guys. The first player I ever played on the Korean ladder when I got my Korean account after doing my placement matches was OGS Top. His opponent, the coach of Team Foyu, a Pro player, he is... And I remember when I got my account, it was back in like November. I did my placement matches, like, you know, place into Platinum because you have to, and then you try to get into Diamond. It was before Master League existed. And, oh, choya Protoss singer. That's pretty funny. He does, you know, sing and talk to himself in his booth a lot. But I like, my first time, it was like I played against OGS Top. It's so weird, but that I have the replay. I can show you guys. And he crushed me. Crushed me so bad. He actually did Hellion drops. I went for a 1-gate Nexus. And he actually took me down pretty easily with some great Hellion control. He killed a lot of my probes. And then the game just ended from there. It's a little wolf story for you guys. I don't tell you guys enough stories. One day, I hope to be the caster that's like that one grandpa who has so many good stories to tell you guys. Artosis and Tasteless, they've been in the scene so long that they're like the grandpas of StarCraft 2, kind of. They're older than most players and commentators, and they've had a lot more experiences than most foreign players have, especially foreign commentators like myself. I mean, I played Brood War, but I didn't go try to qualify for WCG or anything like that, so... One day, though, I'll have all these stories to tell you guys when I'm older. I'll be the new grandpa of StarCraft 2. Now, choya does sneak in here. He sees no gases, which is what he predicted to be the case. So he's going to try to juke this probe out of here. Top's going to try to chase him down. It's very difficult to get your probe out if the Marine comes, but at the very least, even if he loses this probe, he has seen no gases, and that's really all he wanted to see. It looks like he will get it out just barely. No! Just barely not. Now, choya is going double gases. Now, does Top know this? I'm going to check his vision. I'm not sure if he scouted. I don't think he did yet. Top actually scouted the incorrect locations first. And choya is desperately trying to get that stalker out. If he can get the stalker out and block the scout, and Top doesn't know what he's doing, that'll be huge, because on this map, when you go for a fast command center and your opponent gets double gas, that's kind of unheard of. It's a very unusual build that we're seeing here from choya, and he actually should be able to get that stalker out and block the SCV out. Now, this is huge. I know it sounds kind of insignificant. It's like, yeah, you stopped a scout. That happens all the time. No, on this map, a map that most people predict, oh, is it going to see the gases? I'm going to check that vision. I'm going to do the same as the observer. Go click on that command center and go check. No, he didn't see. Startail Legend is the observer for the English stream, by the way, and he and I think alike, I've decided. We look at the same things when we're observing the map. And look at this. choya is hiding a pylon up at the top location. Is he going to make another Stargate? Now, the cool thing about doing Stargate Void Ray all-ins on this map is you can charge up on the rocks. Then you charge up on the rocks break, and then you come down. Now, look at this. Top doesn't know what's going on, and he is going to make 2 bunkers. That is exactly how to do it. That's so safe and so smart. Because ordinarily, your opponent goes for a fast. He might go for a fast Nexus, might go for a 1-gate expand. Now, what he did see with that SCV was he did see the 1 gate. And if he were going for a Nexus first, that gate should not have been done. So he's got to be thinking, okay, well, you definitely need to go Nexus first. What are you doing, choya? Choya, a man of many all-ins. And he does them well. I mean, I don't want to be critical of choya when I say he does all-ins all the time. I'm not trying to say he's a bad player and that's all he can do. But he's known for doing that, and he really does do that a lot. So can't help but say that's what he does. Actually, choya, though, is going to make a Nexus back at home while he does this. So this time he's not really planning it all in. He just wants to put some pressure on. I like this. Now what you can do, actually, is use Void Rays for vision, make a pylon next to your opponent's ledge. Uh-oh, these Marines know what's up. They're like, you only have 2 stalkers down there. I'm going to try to chase you. Good control there by choya. Those rocks will break down. So he doesn't plan on using those rocks to charge up his Void Ray, most likely. Now, what I think we're going to see from choya is he's not going to take the gas at that backdoor expansion. He's going to go up to 4 gates. Now, he's going to hit a timing attack off of 2 bases. He's going to get some Void Rays out. We've seen a lot of players use Void Rays on this map in particular in several different ways. See where he has that Void Ray now? He's going to do some harassment here, which is quite nice, but also later he can use that same Void Ray to grant vision onto the high ground of a pylon that he places on the low ground. And without Stim, these Marines just aren't going to be able to chase that Void Ray. So he gets 2 kills on the SCVs, damages that Command Center, forces the SCVs away. Nice Void Ray micro. Almost reminds me of phasing from the beta, where the Void Rays could actually instantly change between their targets. Oh, I didn't actually see that he had made that Spotlight Council. So he's actually going to use Dark Templar in compilation with this. Now this is really cool. Now, my choya senses are tingling. I think I know what he's going to do here. And I've said it kind of simply. He's going to use that Void Ray to warp units onto the high ground in certain places where he can get that pylon up. Then he's going to warp DTs in there to do some harassment, uses Void Rays and Stalkers elsewhere. Top, remember, he does have that very quick engineering bay. If he's prepared for this with good missile turret placement, he should be okay. Tries to target down that mule, but wants to get out with his shields. Now, if he positions this Void Ray here where only one Marine can fire, that's exactly how you want to do it. And if you get it just at the furthest corner, the Void Ray outranges the Marines by 1, so the Marines are trying their hardest to get over there. This is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, guys. There's that pylon. He's going to send the Void Ray over there. Now he's going to try to warp DTs in. Sorry I took away all the mystery of what choya was going to do. But remember, it's still a mystery for OGS Top. He doesn't exactly know what's going on. He's made a lot of bunkers. Remember, he's invested in those. Now the Dark Shrine is almost done. Now he's going to add a bunch of gateways. Yes, this is just what I thought you would do, choya. But are you going to do it well? The Viking is actually going to completely shut down this Void Ray. But he still has others. There's a shot of one now. Now he's going to warp DTs up onto the high ground. Now he can follow this attack up with the additional gateways he's added. Now he's going to split these DTs up, and Top doesn't have any scans. He has no scans. And he has no turrets in his mineral lines. Now, if choya warps in a few more DTs, he can actually force the cancels of all these turrets. He may actually be able to just win with this attacks all, straight out. The Void Ray is going to come in here. The Void Ray should be targeting down the orbital. He's targeting a factory. Now, he scans, does take out that one DT that was attacking that tech lab, but the other DTs are going to work. Wants to target down that missile turret before it finishes. And that orbital command is under fire now. He could use the Void Rays to attack the orbital command, but he's actually just leaving that one Void Ray behind and warping in more DTs. Another scan does go off. Now he's just going to move that DT over there, and eventually, of course, just keep killing the missile turrets, keeping one DT at the natural. But smartly, finally, Top sends its units over there to take out the pylon, but choya is going to get this orbital command. He's going to lose the pylon, but a fair trade to take out the orbital command unless the SCVs get there in time. Oh, the SCVs get there in time. He does repair it. Close call. Top holding this off somewhat. He's lost a lot, but could have been worse by a lot. Now that Void Ray with 1 hit point left flies into a missile turret. Another small victory for OGS Top, but the DTs are still in his base. He is desperately trying to get those missile turrets up. Looks like he will scan and kill the last DT in the main base. There's one more DT hiding in the natural. Keeping that command center alive was a huge victory for Top. Choya going to take a third base here. Top knows about it. Now remember, he has added a ton of gateways back at home. He's up to 5 gates. Actually, I take it back. He's going to go up to about 7 gates. He's adding a forge, so he wants to play a normal later game here, and we'll see if he can do that and come out on top of Top. Researching Blink, as you can see. Armor upgrade is done. He's adding a second forge, so you can start getting those attack upgrades simultaneously. The Raven is out for Top, so that means no more DT harassment. But I like this. Choya, doing this build isn't all in. It's kind of like a creative timing. I thought maybe what he was going to do, there's another alternate way of doing this, where you just kill your opponent's army with the DTs instead of trying to harass, and then you just follow up with like 6 warp gates. Because Choya had those warp gates at home, so I thought he was going to kill the army and follow up with a huge attack and end the game. And that would have been an all-in, but as he did it, he just used these DTs to be annoying, took a third base, and now Top's third base is a little bit behind. Actually, it's finishing up around the same time because he made it inside of his main. So both these players are going to transfer SCVs and probes around the same time. Supply-wise, Choya is 20 supply ahead, but remember, Top has Stim, he's got 1-1 upgrades, he's got Medivacs out, he's even got a Raven. So even though his opponent has a perhaps larger army, he's got a better army composition. Remember too, 55 probes to 38 SCVs, so that's pretty significant. Even with mules, it does make a pretty big difference having that better SCV count, or probe count rather. Now there's no missile turret here just yet, so he's actually going to have a heyday here. Well, there is a missile turret, or a Raven rather, close enough, but does get 2 SCV kills with that DT. Armies beating each other here in the middle at those destructible rocks. They're both going to... They can't wait to get at each other. They're going to both tear down those rocks. Let me at him. Let me at him. You silly destructible rocks. Those rocks are silly. They're all full of question marks. Choya holds the Xel'Naga Watchtower as long as possible. Now he sees this attack coming. He's got a very strong army, and top is getting really mobile on the map, and I like that on one hand, but on the other hand, his army isn't quite at the strength it needs to be mobile. Notice that Templar Archives is going up for Choya. So once he gets that Templar Archives up, he's going to be able to deal with the bio army of top quite easily, assuming he can get those high Templar out. Now notice he doesn't have that many sentries, but he has enough here to where if top comes up, top's going to regret it. He's going to want to force field behind these Marauders. That point defense turn helping out significantly here, but as it falls, the Zealots and the Stalkers doing a ton of damage. And it looks like top's going to lose more than he bargained for, but does clean up. Nice force fields, has that one sentry over there. He leaves the one sentry behind to force them off. And actually a better trade for top. I think Choya should have waited until all the army was up the ramp and force field behind it. That way he would have been able to cut it off completely. Those medevacs make such a huge difference though. DT out on the map, she's going to be annoying. The Raven died during all of that, so DT is just going to come over here. It's like, oh, I noticed you didn't remake that missile turret, so I guess I'll just kill as many of your SCVs as I can. Actually, just going to do whatever he wants with that that DT. That DT does what he wants until he dies to a scan. All right, right now I'll give you guys some numbers. 65 probes to 52 SCVs. Choya's kind of cut his probes a little bit. But remember, you know, he's got the count and then the mules come into play, but every time you scan, you lose a mule in opportunity cost. So these DTs are doing a lot of economic damage, even though they're not really killing a whole lot. Choya can isolate this army, doing a nice job. The Zealots running in here does clean up a lot of these forces. Nice little pickup there by top, dropping behind the force fields. As the force fields fall, though, these Zealots may tear through. Does decide to back away. As far as upgrades go, I think that's why top's doing really well. He's had those 1-1 upgrades, so even though Choya had +1 during that first attack, didn't quite have that +2 yet. He's getting closer to getting +3. It's about a third to about halfway done. Choya looks like he is preparing to take a 4th base. Now, during all of this, top has still stayed on 3 bases. Because Choya's been so aggressive, it's very, very difficult. That was really funny. You guys didn't get a shot of it. A pylon was blocking the Nexus that Choya's about to take as his 4th base, and then Choya warped in 5 Stalkers at that Nexus, then attacked the pylon so that he could build the Nexus there, and then the Stalkers that he warped in all got canceled, so that was kind of funny. Worked out for him because now he warped in High Templar instead. Maybe he wanted to switch it up. Factory will die. No more scouting and no more starports. And in fact, did he get an armory out? Yeah, he did get that armory out before losing the factory. That's pretty crucial. Now he's going to want to target down this Ghost with the DT. Does not get it, though. This is a pretty scary army coming through here for top. Choya does not have enough energy on those Templar yet. The Stormy just now got enough. But all of the Templar... Ooh, actually didn't quite get all of those Templar. He got a lot of sentries. He's being really indecisive with those Templar. He actually just morphed 2 Templar into an Archon. And those Templar had enough energy for Storm, so I thought that was kind of weird. Top just has so many units, and the Archon is trying to get into the battle, but the Archon's AI is bugging out like crazy. Archon cannot join the fight. And it looks like top, now that the Templar are gone, he's just going to continue to micro. 1 DT comes out to help. He's going to lose a lot of pylons here. DT finishing off a lot of these weakened units. But top will be able to retreat. Remember, this is only a portion of his army. He's got a lot more supply following up, reinforcing this attack. Remember, he doesn't have very many medevacs left, so these Zealots are going to clean up this army relatively quickly, assuming they can hit. The Stalkers may want to blink to chase, and indeed they do. So he does clean this attack up. Now remember, top is still on 3 bases, whereas Choya has a 4th base. It's a small base, not as many mineral patches as most bases, and also only has 1 gas, but he does have a 4th base. And that Zealot escapes with 2 hit points left. Zealot's a champ. Now, upgrades for Choya right now are 3-2, and whereas top is just at 1-2. It's about to have 2-2. So much better upgrades for Choya. And it just goes to show that if you want to engage a Terran army, even if he's even in supply and you have better upgrades, if he has those medevacs, they just come so into play. You've got to use good storms, you've got to control your army properly, you've got to make sure that you win the fight convincingly, and Choya just barely won that fight. And that means that he didn't really come out ahead that much. The only reason Choya is really ahead right now, I would say, is because he has that 4th base. I was going to move forward here. Again, he's got a relatively large army. He's got some Archons in there. He's got a few High Templar. Choya, trying to find how many ghosts he has. He actually has just one ghost. It must be a ghost because I can't find it. There it is. Doesn't even have enough for an EMP. So if Choya attacks her, he's only going to have one EMP. He's going to have to make it count. Well, he doesn't even have it yet. He's going to have to make this attack count, and here he goes. Storm's going to go off. And they isolate. He actually feed back that ghost. Now he's going to storm on top of a lot of the bio, and Choya has a great upgrade advantage here. He even has Archons in the mix. Remember, there are no... there's not that many more units for top. This is all he really has. He doesn't have another base. Losing a lot of SCVs. The Zealot's even doing a ton of damage in the main base. The Archon's going to work at the natural. No real medevacs out here for top, so a lot of his units on weak hit points falling down. And I mean, this really just goes to show upgrades do make a significant difference. And also, not having any ghosts when those storms hit is pretty huge. That Archon trying his best to clean up that large force there. But look back, it's 122 supply to 67 supply. Choya going to move forward here and do a little bit more damage with his attack. And he actually looks like he wants to end the game. He's moving all his forces forward. Oh, and the SCVs going through storms. Like the worst thing that could ever happen to an SCV. And look at this. I mean, he has mostly Stalkers against Mirage, but the Stalkers have better upgrades. And that's 3-3 versus 2-2. And he just has so many Stalkers, and he's got the Zealots to support. The fourth base of top falls, the one that he wanted to use but never got a chance to, and he GG's. And Choya ties up the series 1-1 with some interesting strategies on Crevasse. Using that Stargate to just make Void Race for the Vision. That was pretty cool. I like that camera angle. Whoever did that. That was pretty awesome. Just zoom out and show you right there into the GSL logo. Alright guys, this is pretty tense. Choya showing he can play a later game, play a macro game. And there's one of his friends there talking to him. Maybe one of the management people from Koyu. Possibly another Koyu player I don't recognize. But anyway, someone talking to him, telling him how well he did. Top got to be feeling stressed. I mean, Choya is a scary opponent. He is not someone you want to meet in on BNet. I was going to say at a back alley, but you don't meet Choya in the back alley. That's not where he goes. He goes on the ladder. You meet Choya on the ladder, you're like getting goosebumps. You're getting scared. I haven't fought Choya on the ladder yet, but if I did, I would get pretty scared because you never really know what he's up to. You never know what he's going to do, what he's going to throw at you. The final map here is going to be Xel'Naga Fortress. Who's going to close out the series? Will it be OGS's top, a young player, or will it be the coach of Foyu, Choya, the most interesting Protoss, the talking to himself Protoss? Let's find out here at the GSL Super Tournament. In just a minute. Right now.